Lithium has been in use for all the right and wrong reasons. Right reason in the sense that the whole of the world now sees that there will be a lot of resource available by way of which they can go to make lithium batteries, and that their cars would be running on lithium, and that the batteries can be rechargeable, and that it will be a green energy. It will be a green energy. Think of it. We'll talk about it once again. That is going to be the right reason, if it is a right reason at all. Wrong reason is that is Afghanistan at present, Tibet some time back, and Bolivia even some time back. The withdrawal of the American forces from Afghanistan has been ostensibly stimulated by a lost desire to control Afghanistan, and that has given a quasi right to the Chinese to explore lithium deposits, which goes on to be in the form of a blanket in the whole of Afghanistan. If Chinese go on to be having a control over the lithium deposits of Afghanistan, and which they go on to be having it over Tibetan lithium resources, you can imagine. You can imagine what all that they are capable of doing. That is the wrong reason. And Afghanistan is in central news these days largely because of these lithium resources and their possibility of changing hands from a possible occupation of United States to a possible occupation of the Chinese. It has been news in Tibet for two reasons. One of them has been, of course, the Chinese have been illegally occupying Tibetan region. That's one. And the second is that lithium mining in Afghanistan is causing a type of environmental problem that has been so far completely unheard of, unthought of. And this is what the world does not know at all. Of course, the world knows only those things that they are allowed to know, not those things that they don't actually know. And the third is Bolivia. Bolivia is a problem because it is in the same place, in Potosi region, in Bolivia, near to the Andes Mountains. There are again good amount of deposits, and the extraction of these deposits from the mines has been creating type of a pollution, type of a water scarcity in the Chilean desert of Atacama that has been by and large unheard of. So it is putting a question mark whether all of these efforts, that is a strife in Afghanistan, the occupation of Tibet by China, and then some amount of a so-called development work in Bolivia is worth it or not. Of course, is it worth that we should be converting our car into an electric run car, and that will be running on lithium-ion batteries? That is going to be another question that needs to be picked up, that needs to be taken up, and that is very, very much in vogue all in all. Now, to understand that part, you also going to understand that is in Tibet, protesters threw dead fish into the streets of Tagong town because that was what exactly they got it. They also got the whole of the Licky River completely adulterated with lithium. And when we say that they were completely adulterated with lithium, it basically means in this region that the whole of the river's water is of no use at all. There were a good number of carcasses of cattle and other things that used to be found in this place. And in the Ganjizu-Rong, the lithium mines that is in the Tibetan region, the whole of the region has gone on to become completely unlivable. This is what exactly is the reason that we are talking about in this case. That's the condition. It's in a similar manner that you're going to find in Bolivia as well. And we are going to be talking about Salar de Uyuni. That is the largest salt flat that we're going to be having on the earth. And how is it that is going to be mined close to that of the Chilean border, in and around this region, and also in Potosi region as well. So in all of these places, as well as in Atacama, this place where lithium is going to be mined, it is going to be making this region, whole of this region is striped on. The entire of this place circled by this circle that is brewing up with problems, the type of a problem that people don't going to know how to find a solution to. Not to speak of Afghanistan, largely because Afghanistan is going to be one of these type of case studies where the problem is going to be cropping up. and not to speak of some of the problems that are going to be cropping up in the whole of the world. And in this world, this problem is going to be because of many factors, that is including the use or the misuse of lithium in this case. So lithium is significant because of many factors. One of them is lithium is everywhere. When you're going to pick up your mobile phone, it is made of lithium batteries. It is going to be in that place as well. It has the advantage of one of the technological revolutions that is going to be in the form of a mobile phone, and that is going to be in the form of lithium-ion batteries. Now, these batteries require a bulk of a lithium. For example, the battery of a Tesla model has 12 kg of lithium in it. That is one. And the grid storage that will go on to take place, that will go on to have a very large amount of a lithium requirement. So that is going to be for the purpose of a storage of electricity. Lithium has long been used also in the pharmaceutical industry as well, and in the manufacture of grease, ceramics, as well as in glass to make it glowing. And some of those glasses that you're going to see that go on to reflect a good amount of a sun's rays, they are made of, there is some element of lithium. Now, it is a symbolic element of the current energy revolution, because we are saying, that means the whole of the humanity is saying, that is the companies are saying that lithium is going to be part of green energy. It is part of green energy because in the urban area, you will going to have cars running on lithium-ion batteries, and they will not going to cause pollution. Of course, agree on that count. But when you're going to dispose lithium, is it that will going to cause pollution? We'll talk about it. So it also goes to, we talk about electric mobility as well. And this is what is causing is the demand for lithium is increasing by leaps and bounds exponentially, and 3 times between 2016 and that of 2020. All of these aspects has led to an increase in such type of demand. So what is lithium? Lithium is essentially a silvery white metal. It's almost like a metal, and it is the lightest metal known to man and belongs to the alkali group. For example, you sometimes you're going to find that your glass, these frames are also made of lithium. That is the lightest metal known to us. It is an alkali metal, and being an alkali metal, that is extremely reactive, particularly with oxygen. So it has to be handled with care, and it has to be taken with a due amount of care as well in this case. Lithium has some type of an occurrence. That means with all of this is going to be having some type of an occurrence, and where exactly is it going to be found? It's not found in a native state. Native state, that means you can go to find gold in a native state. That means a mound of gold. Something like on the wall, you're going to find it completely engraved with gold. It is not found in the native state. Its main source is going to be igneous rocks, and that is going to be brines. Brines, that means we are going to be talking about what type of a brine? We are talking about those type of brines which are going to be salt brines, which can go on to give you lithium. And the main igneous rocks which are going to be used for the source of lithium, one of them is spodumene, which is found in North America, which is found in Brazil, Russia, Spain, Africa, and Argentina. Spodumene is one of them. Then other is going to be, of course, lepidolite, that is found in Canada and Africa, and the third is going to be petalite. These are the 3 of these type of ores, that means igneous rocks, which are the sources of lithium for the whole of the world. Now, from all of these students who go on to be getting to know about this, this is going to be one of the topics that can be asked to you in the prelims examination as well. These are the areas where lithium is going to be found. Of course, one of them is going to be the whole of Canada and United States. This is going to be another region. Russia is going to be another of this region where you're going to be finding it. These areas being a good amount of it. And of course, it is going to be in these regions of Salar de Uyuni in that region. And of course, a small amount of deposit in potential deposit that can be in Africa as well as in Australia. This is where they're going to be having an occurrence here. The 124 recognized lithium mineral species found in 4 geological environments. That is, we are going to be talking lithium mineral species. And lithium mineral species are going to be of these types. One of them is going to be lithium, cesium, and loam. There is a granite pegmatite and associated with metasomatic rocks. That is species of it. Lithium, cesium, tantalum. That's one. Second is going to be highly para-alkaline pegmatites. This is going to be the second part of it. And the third is metasomatic rocks. Now, metasomatic rocks, this is more technical. That is, they're not metamorphosed, but you can imagine that it's just before getting metamorphosed, and which are not associated with certain type of intrusion of pegmatites, intrusion of igneous rocks from beneath. There is metasomatic rocks, not directly with it, and then manganese deposits as well. So some of them can be possibly found in the form of polymetallic nodules as well, but then that is a long drawn part of it. Lithium is also going to be found in cosmos, and it is going to be rare in it's going to be rare in cosmos. It's going to be found in a variety of places, in a variety of formations. Of course, it is rare in cosmos. It's not going to be like that of what we're going to say helium-3, which is going to be found on moon. But then the formation of continental crust has a concentrated lithium into economic deposit. That is, when the earth formed, the crust was not formed. When the crust formed, then good number of lithium, rare earth elements, came from beneath. That means from where they came? They came from the interior of the earth. They came from the core. If this was going to be the core, then that is from where they came, and they got themselves concentrated in the crust. That is the basic reason for being lithium being found in the crustal zone. It has, of course, a relatively low efficiency. Nevertheless, that means we're going to know that the mining efficiency is low, but then we know that 60% of the total lithium amount exists in brines and seawater. That is in the form of certain things like salar de Uyuni, something like salt flats. So regions which are going to be dry, Tibet is going to be dry, Bolivia is going to be dry, salar de Uyuni is going to be dry, Afghanistan is going to be dry. So it is found in those areas of Chile and Bolivia, and of course Argentina, China, United States as well. China should be a name that should be substituted by Tibet, because it is going to be found in Tibet, and Tibet is not part of China. Of course, Chinese have occupied it. Other is that is lithium has a certain significance. Significance for what? Significance, that means lithium deposits go on to give you a lot of idea about past climates. It goes on to give you a lot of idea about what all that rocks were made of, and so on and so forth. So lithium and its isotopes can go on to provide a variety of forms of information about a natural, imagine that is going to be natural drawn process of atmospheric CO2. That is, how is it that carbon dioxide is going to be drawn from the atmosphere? And it is this carbon dioxide that goes on to be having a major control on the climate. So, how much amount of carbon has been withdrawn? How much amount of carbon is going to be there? That is going to be known through lithium deposits. Lithium isotopes themselves can go on to help our understanding of weathering as well. When the rocks go on to get weathered, then they go on to get themselves sometimes separated in the form of by the process of hydrolysis into some ions and cations. And that's how we go on to know that is what was the extent of weathering during Cretaceous, what was the extent of weathering during maybe any other period of a geological era. Lithium isotopes can be used to track weathering changes across major climatic change events like that of Permian Triassic, like that of Cretaceous Triassic. These were some of this era, PT boundary, KT boundary. That's what we're going to be calling it. Is in geology. That's the way that they are going to be called as, and that's the name that is going to be given to them. Lithium isotope is an evidence from several past climates as well. For example, all of these geological warmings that may have taken place, geological warmings go on to lead to a greater amount of rainfall, a greater amount of cooling torrential rainfall, and more the amount of torrential rainfall. Rapid is the change in the temperature condition. Greater is the amount of weathering. And greater is the amount of weathering. Greater is the number of rocks that is going to be brought under such type of a condition. So we say that that weathering is capable of bringing climate back under control within a few years or a few thousands of years. That means how much amount of weathering took place which is responsible for bringing it back, and to what extent was the speed of weathering through which we can go on to track these type of changes. The speed of weathering will go on to give us an idea about all of these aspects, and that can be known through lithium. So lithium will go on to, because of its significance, lithium will go on to be mined, and because it is going to be mined, it will going to be having some type of an impact. What all that is going to be? First is that like any mining process, it is invasive. And that is, of course, it is going to be invasive, leaves a lot of scar on the surface. It goes on to, it defaces the surface. It is responsible for destroying the landscape. And of course, it pollutes the surface water as well as water table, as well as groundwater, both of them. That means it destroys the water table and it pollutes the earth and the local wells also. And this was the reason for the protest that was taking place in Tibet. That was the basic reason for the protest. That was the basic reason for the protest in Potosi region in Bolivia as well. Lithium extraction uses a lot of water also, and this is precisely the basic reason that Chinese have been occupying Tibet. Understand that. Tibet is rich in terms of REE, rare earth elements. Tibet is going to be rich in terms of lithium as well. Now, when they go on to get both of these, and both of them are going to be used in electronic products like your mobile phones, in sensitive electronic equipments, in some of these type of very, 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 very good cameras, and so on and so forth. In all of these places, then can you imagine approximately 5 lakh gallons per ton of lithium is going to be consumed. That means to make one price of microprocessor for lithium and with comprising of rare earth element, can you make a guess? More than 1200 liters of water is going to be used. Chinese won't go on to get it anywhere other than by being in occupation of Tibet. And when they're going to be doing in Afghanistan, you can imagine what they can go on to do. They will go to destroy the whole of Afghanistan. In a sense, I'll be sorry to use this word, but they'll be able to rape whole of Afghanistan. For this purpose, they're going to rape the whole of destroy it completely. And this is what will go on to be the major impact of the Chinese occupation of Afghanistan, which they are waiting for, and for which they have made so much amount of an elaborate arrangement as well. And in some places like Chile, de Atacama, mining activities has consumed almost 65% of the region's water. And of course, this will go on to have a big impact on the local farmers who go on to grow something like quinoa and hard llamas, both of them, and they have started suffering from that. One is that Atacama, it's not going to be water surplus region, and then over and above, we do go on to be facing this component as well. Now that goes on to create a good amount of a problem. And then taking this impact further, lithium extraction inevitably harms the soil and causes air contamination as well. That is, the soil will go on to become permanently uncultivable. And of course, it gets itself released in the air, so it is going to be causing major amount of contamination. Moreover, in Argentina, Salar de Hombre Muerto, locals claim that lithium operations had contaminated streams used by humans and for livestock and for crop irrigation. And that means they're going to find themselves, that is, it's not going to be giving them any type of solace as well. That means with so much amount of use that has been taking place and with so much amount of contamination that has been taking place, their basic livelihood has gone. Now, of course, lithium is very significant because we are going to be using lithium batteries, and lithium batteries that is going to be used in where? It is going to be used in your mobile. It is going to be used in making a good number of very, very expensive, sensitive electronic equipments as well. So, as the world scrambles to replace fossil fuels, what we are doing is that, and as a part of a geopolitics, that is what is going to be our main aim. That is, in order to replace the fossil fuel, we should be using, and we are going to be using lithium, which is going to be called as clean energy. The environmental impact of finding all the lithium required to enable the transformation is going to become a serious issue in its own right, given the amount of pollution it goes on to, given the amount of water it goes on to consume, and given the amount of irreversible decline it goes on to bring the ecosystem into. We don't want to be talking about that. It's a serious issue. And it is going to be called as a green solution. It is going to be called as a green energy because we will be using lithium batteries, and that is going to be green. The fact is, it's not a green solution. And to really say, it's not a solution at all. It is merely a transfer of this solution from one place to another place.
To have more such discussions and analysis, subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon for notifications on our upcoming videos.